Hello, I'm Justin with Shock Therapy, and we are here to show you how to install the front limit strap kit on an XP Pro. The front limit strap kit is designed to stop the suspension from hanging completely on the shock, which causes an extension clunk noise. It's extremely common in the car when it's bone stock, but more prevalent when the car gets heavier wheels and tires. This limit strap kit will allow you to adjust it as it stretches over time to manage the suspension at the point where it stops prior to that clunk. Our limit strap kits are the best on the market for multiple reasons. We use the best strap material, the highest grade components. Also, it's designed to be in the same direct geometric length and position as the shock, so that the leverage on the strap is kept to a minimum. Lastly, the strap kit is completely adjustable. This way you can adjust the strap over time as it stretches throughout the life of the car. This is a relatively easy installation and it should only take you about an hour to accomplish. So with that being said, let's take this over to Mitch and have him show us how to put this on.
Hey guys, Mitch here again. We're going to show you how to install the front limit straps on the XP Pro.
First, jack the car up to where the tires are just off the ground, making sure to use jack stands for safety at all times. Next, unplug the factory shock loom from the shock. Remove the shock from the car, starting with the lower hardware first, moving to the upper hardware second. Make sure that you do one shock at a time as they are side specific and cannot be swapped from left to right. Next, get ready to install the billet limit strap clamp onto the shock body. Make sure that the clamp mounting hole is facing the rear of the shock, or basically the firewall side of the shock. Make sure that you clock the clamp to where the mounting hole is in line with the upper shock bolt. When you tighten the clamp, make sure that it is all the way as high on the shock as it can be mounted. It will be butted up against the shock bridge, which is about an inch prior to the head of the shock. When tightening the clamp bolts, make sure that the gap on both sides of the clamp is equal as you torque the hardware to 22 foot-pounds. Next, install the adjustable clevis. There should be a star washer on both sides of the aluminum clamp. Start with the clevis adjusted to where there are no threads showing after the top clevis bolt. Next, install the limit strap with the supplied shoulder bolt. Use red Loctite on this shoulder bolt. Use the end of the limit strap that has the larger diameter hole to mount to the clevis bolt. Next, adjust the static limit strap length to 1.5 inches from hole to hole, measuring the bottom of the strap to the bottom of the shock hole. When installed, the strap will stretch, and we're shooting for 1/4 inch shorter than the overall shock length. Tighten the adjustable clevis hardware so that the clevis and the strap are straight when in line with the shock. Next, install the shock back on the vehicle, starting with the upper shock bolt first. Next, using the supplied longer bolt and stainless steel spacer, install the bottom shock mount on the control arm. The bolt should be installed from the front. The spacer is slid over the bolt from the rear. Thread the nut onto the bolt so as not to lose the spacer for the next step. Do not install the strap at this point. Once the shocks are installed on the vehicle and the lower hardware is loose, do not forget to plug in the shock wiring loom. Repeat these steps on the opposite side of the front of the car.
The clevis is basically in line with the bolt hole itself.
Next, lower the car back on the ground after you have removed the jack stands. With the key on and the car running, make sure that you settle the suspension by moving the car back and forth. With the car on the ground, you can now install the limit strap on the lower hardware. Do not tighten the hardware at this time. Next, jack the front of the car up once again so that we can tighten the lower hardware with the limit strap assembly perfectly straight. With the lower hardware tightened, you can now lower the car back onto the ground for the final time. Once again, turn the key to the on position and settle the suspension. Choosing the coil spring nearest to the tether on the limit strap, wrap the tether around the coil spring and through the factory buckle. You should have approximately 1 to 2 inches of slack between the strap and the coil spring. Any excess strap material can be cut off at this time. With the tethers in place, your installation is now complete. Thank you, Mitch, for showing us how to install those straps, and hopefully the installation went just as easy for you as it did for Mitch. As always, we want to make sure that you are checking the length of the strap as you drive the car. Through time, the strap will stretch. That is why this kit is adjustable, so that you can adjust the strap up just the right amount, about 1/4 inch shorter than the shock is overall, to stop it from having the extension clunk that no one wants to hear. If you have any questions about this kit or anything else that we make, contact us at 623-217-4959 or visit our website, shocktherapist.com.